Shut up, Rover! How many times have you told your dog to shut up because they're barking? And the barking can be for a variety of reasons. Let's just get this out of the way right here. So, our dogs bark for greetings, to let us know there's somebody at the door, so danger. Maybe they're stressed out, so there's barking for stress. There's barking when they're afraid. There's barking when they're aggressive. So those are like four basic categories of barking. But how do we control it? Should we control it? And when do we control it? And I wanted to just break it down for you in a very simple way. We should control it to a point, and we're going to control it to a point. We're never going to get rid of the behavior. They're dogs. They bark. They vocalize. That's how they communicate, or one of the ways they communicate. So, for example, when I have somebody coming to the door, whether it's somebody who's coming into the house or somebody who's delivering a package and just knocks on the door, my dogs bark, and one in particular barks. He is guarding the house, and this is his thing. That's totally fine. It's acceptable to me. However, he sometimes continues long after either the person is in the house or package has already been delivered. So let's take the package that's being delivered. Sometimes I'll knock on the door, but they're dogs. They hear everything. We don't need to have a knock on the door for our dog to respond to a noise. They can smell and hear things way better than we can, and from a lot further away. So the package gets dropped off. Somebody knocks, lets you know it's there. Dogs barking. The person is gone. The truck drives away. Your dog is still barking. What do? Call their name. They turn their head. What do you do when they turn their head? As soon as your dog turns the head, mark it with a verbal cue of yes and toss a treat. Why would you toss a treat? Well, we are capturing the head turn of your dog. We're not worried about they didn't come to you or what have you. We're going to focus first on your dog's name recognition. And name recognition is as simple as it gets. I can't make this any easier for you. So you call your dog, whatever your dog's name is, and they look at you, turn their head, you toss them a treat. Period. You're reinforcing that behavior. It sounds so simple, and it is so simple. So start there with your dog. That's it. Your dog goes back to barking. Bark, 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 bark. Call their name. Head turn. Yes. Toss a treat. Repeat this behavior over and over. Now, do I want you to start this exercise when your dog is barking at the door? Probably not. So we're going to back it up to a point in time where your dog is actually relaxed, not a lot of distractions, maybe no distractions. Maybe they're just laying on the bed and you call their name and they make eye contact with you and or turn their head towards you. I want you to say yes and toss a treat. I want you to start building up what I call a reinforcement history. And simply put, a reinforcement history is your dog's doing a behavior and we're reinforcing it using treats. We reinforce things without using treats, but we'll get to that later or in another podcast. But let's just talk about reinforcement histories as far as us reinforcing good behaviors. So anytime you call your dog's name and they look at you or turn their head towards you, give them a treat. And we're going to mark it with the word yes. Why do I use the word yes? Because it's clean, it's short, it's to the point, and it's not something that I normally tell my dog. For example, we are constantly talking to our dogs, and we'll tell them good boy, good girl, and it's kind of meaningless. So save the word yes for just a clean use for training. Or if you have a clicker, please click, and when the your dog turns their head to look at you, you mark that behavior. Marking behavior, think of it as you get an answer correct and you get a plus sign and you get a cookie. So the correct answer is the dog looked at you, and you click that behavior and toss a treat. I'd rather you use the word yes in the beginning. It's just easier, and you always have your mouth, so there you go. Anyway, so we're wanting to reinforce that behavior while there are not a lot of distractions in the environment because we want to set everybody up for success. People talk about setting themselves up for success. How's about we set our dog up for success as well? So keep it simple, keep it short, keep your treats high value. What do I mean by that? I mean getting things for them that you wouldn't normally use in everyday treats. So, maybe you have just a regular dry biscuit, which is totally fine. I use those all the time. We actually have a gigantic glass jar. I think the jar is like 3 gallons, and it is filled with Old Mother Hubbard biscuits, the mini ones, the not the mini ones, the small ones. And they're great. They're the perfect size. I can break them in half. We have big dogs, but I give them the same size treat that I give a little dog. Um, so, anyway, I digress. We're talking about working your dogs and making them feel like it is worth it to listen to you. And what is worth it? Do you have a little soft piece of treat, like maybe a little Bill Jack mini? Or do you have a piece of cheese? Or do you have a small piece of low sodium hot dogs? Or do you have a tiny freeze-dried shrimp that you can buy in the grocery store? Um, these are all high value items. Even freeze-dried liver, huge advocate of these treats that I just listed. They're dry, except for the chicken, unless you break up some, you know, um, like dehydrated chicken breasts or whatever. You can totally make your own treats, but most people don't have time to make their own treats. My point is, use something that is worth your dog listening to you when there is somebody at your door because they don't care. So you better show up with something really great that they will care about. In addition to waiting for a head turn, um, don't do it at 50 feet away. Close the gap between you and your dog. Um, you don't have to get up on them, but I would like you to get closer, maybe 10 feet away, maybe 5 feet away from them, like a love seat length away from them. I don't want you to touch them, nothing. I just want you to work on that name recognition. And name recognition that I'm teaching you now to teach your pets is also the precursor to a come command, which we'll do that in another episode. Um, but I want to deal with barking. And this piece of barking, we're dealing with somebody at the door, okay? So all this time when it's quiet and nothing really crazy is happening in the house, you've got your treats, you've got your high value treats. Maybe you're watching television and your dog is sleeping or in the next room. Call them. They come to you, give them a treat. They turn their head from their dog bed and look at you. Toss them a treat. Okay? Move closer to them. If you're physically able to move closer to your dog, please move closer to your dog. Again, setting everybody up to be successful because we want this to work. I don't want you stressed out, and I certainly don't want your dog stressed out. But if you're stressed out, your dog's going to be stressed out. The way you feel and behave is the way your dog is going to feel and behave, okay? So, I want you to just, like I said, do this with no distractions. And then if you work out of your house, amazing. If you're home on a day that the mailman is at the door or the mail person is at the door, go for it. Get your treats out. Maybe it's Saturday morning and you know that the mail carrier comes at, like, I don't know, say 11 o'clock. You've got your treats, the mail carrier's walking up the way, and your dog is going off. Let them bark, they're doing their job. Call your dog, get a head turn, throw a treat. That's it. It's as simple as that. But why is it as simple as that? Why is it as simple as that? Because you worked on building up your reinforcement history. So that's it. This is a real short little tidbit for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if this is successful, if it makes sense. I want to know what questions you have. And again, we're just taking one little segment, one little piece of behavior. That's it. And all you have to do is practice this maybe 5-10 minutes a day while you're doing whatever, while you're cooking dinner, well, not cooking dinner, we don't want to start a begging behavior, while you're watching TV, while you're on the laptop, while you're on your phone, while you're, whatever it is you're doing, while you're on the toilet, because everybody knows that our dogs follow us into the bathroom, okay? You can train a lot while you're sitting on the toilet. Trust and know that this is from personal experience. Take every moment possible and work with your pet. Let's have a better relationship with our dogs and our cats and continue on this journey because you know what? They're going to be with us for years, and it's just so amazing to have that happy, go lucky, amazing relationship that you can have with your four-legged companion. And it's really easy to achieve just by getting some really nice treats and just keeping it simple. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day. And don't forget, stuff a Kong for your pets. Bye.